Picture yourself standing on the edge of a cliff. Below you, waves crash violently against the rocks, and above, a storm brews with dark clouds swirling in a chaotic dance. The wind howls, pushing against you, and yet you feel an unshakable calm. Nothing matters, not the storm, not the crashing waves, not the uncertainty of what lies ahead. You've discovered a secret, a way to live with such profound peace that the chaos of the world simply fades away. What if you could learn to act as if nothing really matters? Drawing from the timeless wisdom of Napoleon Hill and the deep insights of Carl Jung. Today, we're going to explore how to cultivate this serene state of mind, one that allows you to navigate life's storms with grace and resilience. Let's embark on this transformative journey together, and by the end, you'll have practical tools to live with unshakable inner peace. Before we dive deeper, I want to invite you to join our community. If you're someone who cherishes elderly wisdom, personal growth, and the kind of insights that can change your life, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way, you won't miss any of our upcoming videos on living a fulfilled and meaningful life. Now, let's get started. What does it mean to act as if nothing really matters? It's not about becoming indifferent or apathetic, nor is it about ignoring your responsibilities or emotions. Instead, it's about cultivating a mindset where external chaos, criticism, or setbacks don't disrupt your inner calm. Napoleon Hill, the legendary author of Think and Grow Rich, believed that the mind is the key to everything. He famously said, "Whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve." To act as if nothing really matters, you must master your thoughts, choosing to focus on what truly aligns with your purpose. This mindset allows you to let go of the things that don't serve you, freeing you to live with clarity and peace. To understand how to do this, we'll turn to the profound ideas of Carl Jung, whose concepts of the shadow, projection, and individuation provide a powerful framework for this journey. Let's start with the shadow. Jung taught that the shadow is the hidden part of your psyche, containing all the traits, emotions, and impulses you don't want to acknowledge. Maybe it's your fear of failure, your suppressed anger, or your deep-seated insecurity. We often push these parts of ourselves into the darkness, hoping they'll disappear. But they don't. They linger, waiting for a trigger to surface. Think about the last time you overreacted to something small, like a friend's offhand comment or a minor inconvenience. That reaction wasn't just about the moment, it was your shadow speaking. When we don't face our shadow, we give it power over us, making us reactive and easily disturbed by the world around us. Napoleon Hill would argue that to act as if nothing really matters, you must first take control of your inner world. This means confronting your shadow with honesty and courage. Let's say you often feel irritated when someone questions your decisions. Instead of brushing it off or getting defensive, pause and reflect. Why does this bother you so much? Perhaps you're afraid of being seen as incompetent, a fear buried in your shadow. By acknowledging this fear, you diminish its hold over you. You might say to yourself, "I'm afraid of not being good enough, but that doesn't define me." Suddenly, the criticism doesn't feel so heavy. You've begun to act as if it doesn't matter, not because you're ignoring it, but because you've addressed the root cause within yourself. This is the first step to inner freedom. Now, let's explore Jung's concept of projection. Projection happens when we take those shadow traits we don't want to see in ourselves and project them onto others. For example, if you're secretly insecure about your own lack of discipline, you might find yourself constantly annoyed by people you perceive as lazy. You're not really upset with them, you're upset with the part of yourself you see reflected in them. This is why so many things in life seem to matter so much, because they're mirrors showing us what we haven't accepted about ourselves. Napoleon Hill's teachings align perfectly here. He believed that our outer world reflects our inner state. If you're constantly bothered by others, it's a sign there's inner work to be done. To act as if nothing really matters, you need to stop projecting and start owning your emotions. Here's a practical step to work with projection. The next time someone's behavior irritates you, pause and ask yourself, what does this remind me of in myself? Let's say your coworker's habit of procrastinating drives you up the wall. You might realize that their behavior triggers your own fear of not being productive enough. By recognizing this, you shift the focus from blaming them to understanding yourself. You might even find compassion for your coworker. They're human, just like you, with their own struggles. Over time, as you work through your projections, you'll notice that fewer things seem to matter. You'll start to act as if the small annoyances of life don't affect you, because you've cleaned the lens through which you see the world. This is a powerful step toward inner peace. This brings us to Jung's concept of individuation, the process of becoming your true, whole self by integrating all parts of your psyche, including the shadow. Individuation is about self-awareness, about knowing who you are at your core and living in alignment with that truth. Napoleon Hill's philosophy echoes this idea. He often spoke about the importance of having a definite purpose in life, a clear vision of who you want to be and what you want to achieve. When you're on the path of individuation, you're not easily swayed by external circumstances because you're grounded in your own sense of self. You're not reacting to every little thing, you're responding from a place of inner strength. Let's look at an example to make this concrete. Imagine you're at a social event and someone makes a snide remark about your recent career change. In the past, this might have sent you into a spiral of self-doubt or anger. But if you've been working on individuation, you're more aware of who you are and what you value. You know that your career change aligns with your purpose, and their comment is more about their own biases than about you. You might smile, nod, and say, "I appreciate your perspective, but I'm happy with my path." You've acted as if their words don't matter, not because you're ignoring them, but because you're secure in your own truth. This is the power of combining Jung's individuation with Hill's focus on mental mastery. You become unshakable. So, how do we put this into practice in our daily lives? Let's break it down into 3 actionable steps inspired by both Napoleon Hill and Carl Jung. First, start with self-reflection. Set aside a few minutes each day to journal about the things that felt significant or bothersome. Maybe it was a harsh email from a colleague or a disagreement with a loved one. Ask yourself, what part of my shadow might this be touching? Am I projecting something onto this situation? Write down what comes up, even if it's uncomfortable. Over time, this practice will help you uncover patterns in your reactions, giving you the clarity to address them. This self-awareness is the foundation of acting as if nothing really matters. Second, practice detachment. Napoleon Hill often emphasized the importance of controlling your thoughts. When something feels like it matters too much, take a deep breath and imagine stepping back from the situation. Picture yourself as an observer, watching the scene unfold without being emotionally entangled in it. This doesn't mean you don't care, it means you're choosing not to let the situation control your inner state. For example, if you're stuck in a long line at the store and feeling frustrated, remind yourself that this moment is temporary. You might say, "I can't control the line, but I can control how I respond." By detaching, you create space for calm, allowing you to act as if the delay doesn't matter. Third, align with your purpose. Jung's individuation process is about becoming your true self, and Napoleon Hill's teachings are all about pursuing a definite purpose. Take some time to reflect on what truly matters to you. What are your core values? What gives your life meaning? Maybe it's your family, your passion for helping others, or your commitment to personal growth. When you're clear on your purpose, the small things that once seemed so important, like a rude comment or a minor setback, start to fade into the background. They don't matter because they don't align with your bigger vision. Let's say you're working on a project that's deeply meaningful to you, but a colleague dismisses your efforts. If you're aligned with your purpose, you might feel a brief sting, but it won't derail you. You know why you're doing this, and that clarity keeps you grounded. You act as if their opinion doesn't matter, because in the grand scheme of your purpose, it truly doesn't. Now, let's tie this all together with a real-life example. Imagine you're a 55-year-old woman named Sarah, who's recently started a small business after years of working a corporate job. You're passionate about your new venture, but you face constant skepticism from friends and family. They question your decision, saying things like, "Why take such a risk at your age? What if it fails?" In the past, these comments might have crushed your confidence, making you second-guess yourself. But Sarah has been applying the principles we've discussed. She's confronted her shadow, recognizing that her fear of failure was driving her anxiety. She's worked on projection, realizing that her family's skepticism mirrors her own doubts, not their lack of support. And she's on the path of individuation, aligning her business with her purpose of creating something meaningful in her later years. So, when her brother makes a snarky comment at a family dinner, Sarah doesn't react. She smiles, takes a deep breath, and says, "I understand your concern, but this is my path, and I'm excited about it." She's acting as if nothing really matters, not because she doesn't care, but because she's secure in her own journey. This is the kind of freedom that Napoleon Hill and Carl Jung invite us to embrace. It's a freedom that comes from within, from knowing yourself so deeply that the external world loses its power to shake you. When you confront your shadow, stop projecting, and align with your purpose, you create a life where the small things don't matter. You become like a tree in a storm. Your roots are deep, your trunk is strong, and while the winds may bend your branches, they can't uproot you. You act as if nothing really matters, because you've discovered what truly does. As we come to the end of this journey, I want to leave you with a final reflection. Life will always have its storms, its challenges, its criticisms, its uncertainties, but you have the power to choose how you respond. By integrating the wisdom of Napoleon Hill and Carl Jung, you can cultivate a mindset of unshakable peace. You can act as if nothing really matters, not because you're detached from life, but because you're deeply connected to what truly does. So, take that first step today. Reflect on your shadow, notice your projections, and align with your purpose. The world may keep spinning, but you'll stand firm, a beacon of calm in the chaos. If this message resonated with you, please hit that subscribe button and leave a like. Acting as if nothing really matters is a skill that can transform your life, and I'd love for you to join us as we explore more life-changing insights in our future videos. Let's keep growing together, one step at a time.